Put it in it. Hello.
We're starting.
Yes, we are starting. Thank you for coming. Welcome to another episode of the People's Mic.
Okay.
I try to change my voice every time I do it, so because I know I come in too hot and I yell. So I'm working on being.
You're the next Larry King.
Yeah, thank you. Because I'm old. Is that what you're saying? Because I'm old.
Well, your words, not mine.
I
Larry King.
am with Miss Blair Dawson.
Hello. Do I need to go close to the mic in order to
No,
speak?
you don't. No. Relax.
Okay.
Relax. Hang out.
It's
What is
not
that?
my
Velvet?
nature.
You can't see her pants.
It's velour.
Is that
actually.
velour?
It's red velour. Would you care to touch it?
No,
I
look
give
at
you
that.
my
Look at
consent.
that. Okay, thank you. I was like, how are you?
I'm so sleepy,
Yeah.
as I was saying, because I went to yoga for the first time in a year, and she didn't give any visual cues for her poses.
Really?
And so I was falling behind. She actually came down, kneeled over to me, and was like, "Do you speak English?"
Really?
Yeah.
She's like one of these high-end yoga instructors.
I was like, "Oh, you expect me to just know everything that you're saying out loud?" She wasn't giving any visual cues whatsoever, and she thought I was slower, like I was ESL. So she bent over to be like, "I just want to know why you aren't following the cues. Do you not speak English?"
You're a shitty instructor. You said.
And I'm like, "No, I speak English."
Were you the only one?
I guess I was the only one who was like falling behind. It's like, this is why no one goes to yoga. It's so exclusive and mean.
No, absolutely. It's a niche. What exercise? I don't call it exercise. What is?
I do it because I have bad back and it strengthens.
Okay.
The
Does it really?
stretches,
Does it help?
It does make my back feel better, and it also makes me feel less angry.
Really?
Well, now I feel angry because she told me that I don't speak English.
And she made you worse. You left angry.
Yeah, I left angry. I left feeling angry at the instructor.
I want you to say her name.
I don't remember. I repressed it.
Good. Never go back. Never go. Have you tried boxing?
Actually, I did box once in Thailand.
Wow. You're so. You had to go to Thailand.
Well, I was drunk, and they had this bar with a boxing ring, and they were like, and no women were volunteering to do boxing, and the winner would get a free bucket of alcohol. Why wouldn't you do it?
Yeah.
And so I was like, you know what? I'm game. I'll do it. This looks fun. And this Canadian woman who had 50 pounds on me, we went in the ring together. We boxed.
Is it bare knuckle? What is it? Gloves? Bare knuckle or?
They gave us gloves and those face masks.
Okay. It's pretty simple.
They said it was a draw, but she most certainly won.
Is there video?
There were some videos, but the person who took the video passed away. So.
Oh shit! Damn, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It happened last
in Thailand.
Summer. Yeah, it did.
Oh my god! I'm sorry. I was gonna
Don't
keep.
ride motorcycles.
Really?
Do you want to ask me a question?
Yes, I do. Jeez. I know the back. All right. I'll try to backpedal out of this.
Hey, isn't dying funny?
Yeah.
She died at 24 in a motorcycle accident.
Okay, keep going.
But hey, if you want to ride a motorcycle, who am I to stop you?
Your motorcycle PSA. She died riding a motorcycle in Thailand?
Yeah, she did.
During this trip?
We were actually supposed to move in with each other. She was supposed to come home after a semester of teaching longer. And then we were gonna. She was my closest friend in Thailand, and then
in Thailand.
In
Good.
Thailand. The disclaimer. I mean, I have. Don't worry, guys. I have better friends.
God damn.
It wasn't that big of a loss. When you think about it.
Just my Thailand friend. You know how many other countries I have friends in?
Yeah, if you were feeling bad for me, don't, because she was only my Thailand friend.
God damn. This is what comedy's for, ladies and gentlemen. Jeremy Cash, our first audience member.
What's up? I was talking about my dead friend.
My best friend was killed too, so we
really?
can all talk about it. He was shot in the chest and the face.
Fuck, how?
Because
Where?
he was in in the Bronx of
Yeah.
where those things happen, and
But was it his fault?
No, it wasn't his fault. He was driving.
No, I'm
he was,
joking.
He was,
Obviously
he was
it's not his
with
fault.
the girlfriend and her ex-husband. It was like a revenge thing. He saw them
Wow.
together and we shot him.
That's evil.
And then they dropped him off at a hospital.
I feel like people who murder other people, I can't even blame them because those are people that never have an introspective thought in their
No.
life.
No.
It's like they don't think
You
the
could just take
consequences
life.
of their
Yeah.
actions.
Yeah. I've been in many fights, but luckily I pray that I can leave this place and without taking somebody's life. That's
You know, that's a high bar for you.
yeah. Why? God damn!
But you know
You're a
what?
monster.
No, I think that's a very achievable goal.
Yeah, I mean, well, after the world goes to shit, and then we live in, this.
Do you feel that we're going to see everything fall apart while we're alive?
I hope so.
Yeah, me
I
too.
kind of hope so. That's why I go to the gym. You know, this body
Yeah.
is my insurance
Right,
to survive the apocalypse,
right.
and that's why you should not do yoga. See how we brought it back around?
Yeah, but I would just, I mean, look at me. I'm frail. I'm
I
anemic.
know.
I would die
You're not going to make
immediately.
it if you don't.
Actually, I would probably, I would like to think that I would outsmart everyone, but I would probably, I'm pretty sneaky though.
Really?
Yeah, I'm sneaky. I think I would,
Yeah.
you know what?
Resourceful.
I'm now having a moment of truthful clarity, and I think I would just take a bunch of pills and like.
You
just
quit? You
call
tap
quits.
out?
I would
before it
tap out
starts.
before the fight begins.
Did you see the movie Bushwick? Have you seen that?
No.
It's like not post-apocalyptic. It's about these Texan militants who take over Bushwick, and this girl, this hipster chick, finds Dave Bautista. You know who he is? Wrestler.
No.
And they're going on this mission to survive this ordeal, and it's kind of the beginning of the end.
And was it good?
She made the movie terrible because she was annoying.
Yeah, fuck
if it was
her.
just him, it'd been a regular action movie. But she was like, "Oh, she shot."
What's your favorite movie?
My favorite movie. Can you give me some tissue? Would you mind?
Tissue?
Yeah.
Yeah,
tissue.
why are you here? Get him
I
a
am-
goddamn tissue.
I feel like she was made to bark orders, right? Give me some goddamn tissue. That's what I meant to say.
I'm a Jewish woman who weighs 115 pounds. Do as I say.
What my favorite movie? My favorite movie. You've never seen Action Jackson. Is my favorite all time movie.
I like how you just knew that I didn't. See
Yeah,
it.
there's no way. If you said that's my favorite movie too, I would have left. The mic is. This is over.
Oh, Jimmy, guess what my
Who is in Action Jackson? Exactly.
No, I'm just imagining you guessing what my favorite movie
Your
is.
favorite
What's my
movie
favorite
is
movie?
Grease.
There are certain
Are you-
aspects about Grease that I like. I do like campy type films like John Waters
Thank
and. Do you like John Waters?
I don't know who that is.
The guy who wrote Hairspray and Polyester. He's very famous for being almost like a open contract. He essentially created camp, like campy humor.
Okay. I've seen those in Blockbuster.
Yeah,
And,
he's very fun and whimsical, and I love him.
I've only-
He's like a Satanist.
So what's your Satanist?
Yeah.
That's whimsical. What?
But he just looks at the anti-hero as the misunderstood one, the one who's truly the hero in the
Like
end.
Breakfast Club. Those kind? Is that
No,
beyond too-
he's
too
silly.
old?
He's more satirical.
Mm.
But I love John Waters. My
What's your
favorite
favorite
movie. I really love Polyester. I hated it while I was watching it, but in retrospect, I think about that movie all the time.
You're gonna make me watch 5 minutes of it just to know which. I know that I'm not gonna
It's
get
crazy.
through it. Is it?
Yeah, it's insane.
Have you seen it? Polyester.
No.
Or
Good job.
Crybaby? Have you seen Crybaby?
No.
I've seen Crybaby.
This is literally
Sorry.
interesting to no one.
Yeah, nobody. Somebody's out there like, I love Crybaby. Polyester is my favorite too, and now they're gonna stalk you. So good luck.
Right. If I were to recommend any movie it would be Bill Cunningham, New York. That is my favorite movie. It's a
What?
documentary. It's
Is that
about
a-
a street photographer.
What?
I also love the Amy Winehouse documentary. I love documentaries.
Oh shit!
Because it's more interesting than I think.
I
than
only
fiction.
watched the Amy Winehouse because my ex was really into her, and you do what your girlfriend's like, right?
Pretty much.
But
I like to think of it as compromise.
is that compromise?
Yeah.
Well, let's use it. Better
Doing-
word, way better word. But
Doing things you don't like for the
in
people
guy
that
speak,
you like.
yeah, compromise. I'll
Yeah.
take it.
Jimmy, you're one person who I think like is actually someone who cares more about women, but you also don't have you don't like. But then you're also like, suck my dick.
Yeah, I was just raised a boy, but raised by women, so I'm still, I'm just a guy, and a dumbass, and an older brother, so
Yeah.
you get all that. You get the asshole, but I try. Whatever. I don't know.
I heard you once punch someone in the face because they said something rude to a female comic.
Well, that's the one you heard about, and that.
Yeah,
and
that's
my
the
mistake
one.
is that you heard about it. That was my mistake.
Okay. How many times have you punched
Other
comedians?
Too many. Comedians too many.
Jeremy, how many people do you think Jimmy's punched in the name of justice?
Ah!
I'll go the over-under with 7.
More or less. Is he right?
In comedians,
I'm saying 7.
people in general, I can't count.
Really?
Yeah,
You seem like a diffuser.
I try, but sometimes a punch in the face is a diffuse. So, but it's. I come from a different time. I come from a time when you just handle your problem and you walk away as men. You don't have to put all your stuff
But
on.
is that actually handling it? I don't.
Absolutely. No?
I think it ultimately creates more problems because it's not actually diffusing a problem. It's just creating more
but
anger.
If you punch somebody in the face and have dialogue after and say,
See, that's
you don't let it linger.
Hey, men versus women.
Yeah,
Let's
women
talk
are like,
about-
bitch, and it's ongoing. Men are like, let's go in this room or go in this alley, and then
That
This
was
is-
always one thing that I was really jealous of about male relationships and male friendships. Like, of course, this isn't everyone. I can only speak for myself. But I could see that men would just mock each other openly, call each other out.
Yeah.
But women have to be very passive. They can never express anger. They can never express, like, even just like last year, I was mocking someone for, and mocking a girl who I thought I was close with, and it was clear that like she took it personally, and I'm like, why can't we just
Sensitive.
tease each other?
No.
Why can't we tease each other? I don't understand.
Because women come with these bag of issues, and if you touch that button, it's like a whole Pandora of other issues unravel. It's like you didn't even mean to. Like
It's
you didn't
almost
even know
like
they
we
were there.
all agreed that if we were to insult each other, we genuinely mean it and have malice.
Yeah.
But I don't
And
have
then-
malice if I'm trying to tease someone.
And now, and comedy is like, this is what we do. You know, you don't take it. You take it.
Right.
You
I'm
know.
one of those annoying people that in high school I'm just like, most of my friends were boys.
Yeah, and boys handle things way different. I can say, hey, look at your big head. And he's like, ho, ho, ho. Everybody's like, oh, look at his big head. And that's it. Right? You say that to a girl, she's like, oh my God, do I have a big head? Maybe I should grow my hair. Or what does my dad think about my head? And then it's like, what?
I know. But I do
insane.
think that is like a matter of environment where
Yeah.
it's just kind of like, oh, if you're raised to like take an insult.
Yeah, it's your parents.
not-
too.
yeah.
And some people weren't raised. Some people,
Yeah.
I blame that on homeschooling. Homeschooling is ruining kids. Were you homeschooled?
No, I went to a public school, but
You need that. You need
but I don't know. It was a very perfectionist type environment. Like women, everyone was expected to get straight A's.
Yeah.
Everyone, there was no skipping class. There was
Really?
no, yeah. kind of like the
Private
kids.
school? Public?
No, it was a public school, but it was like a high tax bracket, so there were only white people going to the public school.
Wow. There's
I
all
know.
white people just.
It was all white people.
Damn.
There was 2 black kids. One was
Goddamn.
the son of a faculty member, and then the other one was adopted.
I actually, I'm from the Bronx. I got an academic scholarship to go to a high school for the ABC program, and we went to there were about 100, I would say, 100 black kids, maybe less, maybe way less than that, maybe 50. But the 10 kids in our program were the urban as that school got. So.
The 10 kids in
They took
the ABC. What is ABC?
ABC is a better chance.
Better, so like an enrichment program.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we lived in a house. It was a boys' house and a girls' house. And we had a cook, a resident director.
Was this
our
through?
parents. It was a nonprofit.
Okay.
There's a couple around.
This
the
wasn't
country.
like a foster care agency or anything. No.
No, you had good grades, and they sent you to these challenging schools.
Right.
Supposedly.
Did they give you resources like tutors?
Oh yeah, we had tutors in the house. We had resident directors. We had a cook that would come. Then we had host parents that we'd see like every other weekend, and they were generally just most of them were white. Some were black, just affluent.
Right.
It's not even upper middle class.
Right.
You know.
And how do you think that changed your world perspective?
I accepted people more. When I came from the Bronx, I only knew Puerto Ricans, Jamaicans, and black people, and some Asian, because I worked for an Asian couple at some store when I was a kid. And that's who you bought Chinese food from. That's the only way I knew Asians.
Asians are very different from other Asians.
Yeah. As you know, they're Koreans and Thai, and I knew that there were other Asians besides. Right. But I didn't know. Asian were just people who made my General Tso's chicken. You know?
Yeah.
And which then my whole world, and you learn all these new things. And when I went to high school, I was a fast kid, so they accepted me as, they were like, "Oh, he's so fast," and everything. I was one of the fastest kids in the country, so I was kind of a superhero in high school. So.
Are you talking about in athletics?
In athletics, academics. I was like, I don't give a fuck.
I wouldn't think it would be academics.
No, well, I just made it by, but I mean, I was a superhero from a Bronx perspective, but
right, yeah, that's awesome. Did you have any colleges approach you for?
Yeah, I was getting Miami, but yeah, offered full scholarships at.
Oh, you went to Temple, right?
Yeah, I went to Temple,
okay.
But at the time they were like most of the fastest kids in the country were coming out of Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
So to get the most, they were like, "Oh, we're only giving you guys half scholarships."
Yeah, it's crazy. I went to a school where the majority of my peers did go to Ivies, but the ones that did usually were playing a sport and didn't necessarily earn it academically. There was this one girl, she was at one point the fastest person or fastest girl in the country, and we had a really exceptional cross-country track and field program, and this one girl, she was qualifying for the Olympics, and Brown came up to her while she was in 8th grade to offer her a place at their school. Yeah. A lot of my peers were getting offers from schools their junior year because of a sport, which is so fucked up. Because one girl, she once asked me where China was on the map. She got into Tufts while someone who was a 4.0 student did all these extracurriculars, would always tutor after school to make money, who was more middle class. She didn't get in, but this girl whose parents were so rich, her dad's a famous lawyer, she got into Tufts. It's just so crazy. I learned corruption from a very white collar corruption.
I feel like you should be as diverse. You should be in the sports, but you also should. I wish they had taught entrepreneurship in high school. I had
Yeah.
to run your own business because I knew I didn't want. Welcome.
Hi.
It's just a
What's up?
podcast before
We're
the
potting.
mic.
We're talking.
And you can hang out, have a seat.
Cool.
You for comedy? You here for comedy?
Yeah, we
Good.
are.
Hang out.
Sorry to interrupt.
No.
the podcast.
You're very good. You can, if you hear something you want to chime in, feel free.
Okay.
It's open. This is Blair Dawson.
What's up?
Hi.
Yeah, I wish I taught entrepreneurship because it was all about just getting the best grades, but there was no why. You know?
Yeah.
It was like you should be a student, but I was like, what?
Right. I work as a tutor now for a foster care agency, and it seems like, I do like a lot of guidance counselor work as well, and it just seems like a lot of there are kids from underserved communities. Like the majority of them, they go to like awful New York City public schools, and honestly, their faculty just never discuss with them why they're doing the things they need to do, or it's just like, what's the importance of completing your homework? Like, it seems like no one is ever having that conversation with them, where it's just like, yes, you're doing this for like economic mobility.
Yeah.
So you
want
have
to get a
options.
job, and I was like, I don't want a job. I want to own my own things, and
Yeah.
I want to own my own things, and I want to run and. And there was nobody there was no guidance for that, and but then the other students who were with me, they were getting good grades, and they were, I was getting celebrated for being a good athlete, but then punished for being not a great student, but a super active student. Like, I was in every organization, but that didn't count for shit, I didn't like that. I don't know.
This is funny for no one.
For no one. Everybody's like, what?
Yeah. Is this supposed to be a funny podcast? I feel like
let's
everyone
switch.
is
Did you
Let's
see her face?
No, I'm sorry. I'm just disheveled. I'm sure it's great.
No, thank you.
We can assure you it is not.
Where are you guys from?
Well, I live in New York now, but I just moved here from Boston, and
Nice.
she still lives in Boston.
Nice.
Whoa! Why did you choose?
I saw you at Lincoln.
Oh, totally. Yeah. You
Lincoln's.
had Did you talk about being a teacher? No, you talked about college. A dead body.
Oh, yeah.
I
I
remember.
remember.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Saw dead body.
I
A lot of dead
remember-
body talk today.
Totally.
You right, brought it back. Thank you.
Yeah, you missed it. We were talking about our dead friends.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like, how do you backpedal out of that?
R.I.P.
How'd you get into comedy? Let's do that.
How did I get into comedy? I always loved comedy, but I never had any like role models at all. Just because it is one of those things where it's like, I think that people really read me as an angry feminist sometimes, but it's just like, yeah, I'm angry because I would have started way earlier if I had role models. I didn't understand that you could just start comedy because the only women I saw doing comedy were like Sarah Silverman or like Tina Fey, and I'm like, I don't want to be a writer or like Tina, and Sarah Silverman, I'm just like, oh, I could never do what she's doing, or I'm less reserved now, but I used to almost be so shy to the point of being mute. So I'm just like, I could never be like crass and like bold like she is. And I think it took me, and I went to art school.
Yeah.
I wanted to become a costume designer.
Wow.
And then eventually I was just like, oh, I love comedy. I'll do costume design for comedy. I want to become the costume designer for SNL.
Okay.
Because it ties like storytelling, arts, and like psychology all together, the things that I care most about. And so I got an internship on a sketch comedy television series, and I saw what it took to be a professional comedian.
Yeah.
And I'm like, my ego took over and was like, I am just as good, if not better, than these fools.
That voice is what gets you.
Yeah.
And then so what was the turning point of saying, all right, I'm gonna get on stage now?
It took a full year after that because my greatest fear before doing stand-up was public speaking. So it took me having an awful job to be like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like when you work in production, you have no creativity, no say whatsoever. I was working in these theater productions as well as like film and television, just like a low-ranking PA and stuff like that, and I felt so disenfranchised. And you are treated very much like a commodity. You're not really like seen as a person. And I'm like, I need to express myself. I feel just like so beaten down. And I'm just like, if I don't do something, I'm just gonna be so miserable for the rest of my life. So I was just like pushed into it, even though it was like the thing I was most terrified to do. And I went to an open mic to like see what it was. I went to a pit mic, and I'm like, oh, they're just reading their notes from the stage and saying what works. I can totally do that. And the next week I went to my first open mic, and I loved it. And I like prepared maybe like 10 minutes of material, and then while I was up on stage, I like, I just was able to like edit it down in the moment, and it just like felt so natural. And it felt great.
How long have you been doing comedy?
Okay, so the day I did that open mic, my first open mic, I went to Thailand to be an ESL teacher the next day.
You're like, all right, I did that.
I'm just like, regardless of what happens here, I have bigger and better things. So I went to go to Thailand, but then I could feel myself like getting sad, and I'm just like, why do I feel sad? I'm in Thailand, this is amazing. And I realized it's because like all I could think about was doing stand-up. Yeah. And then I found a comedy club in Bangkok and did like a couple.
Big scene.
And no matter where you are in the world, there is a comedy club.
There's
an expat community wherever you are. Just Google it, and you'll find an open mic or some show. It might be just like once a week or even once a month, but you'll find it. So I did like a couple open mics in Bangkok. I did one in like Ho Chi Minh City in Vietnam. I tried to do one in Sydney, but they're like, our open mics here, you have to sign up a week in advance. I know. Yeah, so then I did one in like Northern Thailand. So I did like a handful in Southeast Asia, and then when I returned, I'm like, okay, I'm here. I know what I want now. I have perspective. And so when I moved back to New York, I just like started doing open mics on a daily basis, and then you were the first person to book me on a show.
Yeah, I take full credit for that.
Yeah, give it up.
I remember. Do you still do the bit where you roll on the floor? Do you still do that?
No.
That's why I was like, she's gonna make it. This kid.
I'll try to do it today. It was a bit about me having a panic attack while smoking weed.
Yeah.
I was like, does anyone like this? But doing act outs at open mics, I know now, is less than desirable.
I was like, this kid commits. This kid right here. That's cool. You guys got any questions? You want to do questions?
Who's on your shirt?
David Bowie.
Okay, what's going on right now? Did I walk in the middle of something?
No, we're doing nothing.
What's going on here? We're gonna take some pills later, and then this is the end of your life.
I knew I the right
you can't leave. You can't leave. No, it's a podcast.
Jimmy Peoples is my father, and I just found out.
You want to be a stand-up comedian? It's the rest of your life.
It's the rest of your life. No, it's the podcast. It's the podcast we do before the show, and then you guys are audience.
This is on?
Yeah, this is on.
Oh, dope.
You're part of it.
Yeah.
Shout out. What's your name?
Kevin Smith. Hi.
Kevin Smith.
Give it up for Kevin Smith.
Yeah. We'll put sound effects. It'll be crazy. And they'll be like, "Holy shit, Kevin Smith." Where you from?
Norfolk, Virginia.
And you're a comedian?
I live in Brooklyn now.
You're a comedian now, or you're just a guy that walks in the rooms?
I do both. Actually,
Really?
I don't drink too much, so I pretty much just walk in the bar.
Just walk in the room? Yeah, that's comedy. Same thing.
Everyone who's doing comedy, just quit drinking.
Really? Yeah. Well, really? You don't drink, do you?
Everyone stops.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'll have a
jeez.
beer every like third or fourth week, but other than that, like I stay away from it. I used to have a lot of fun. Got me know what I like.
I feel like I'm going in the other direction. Like I started drinking wine more.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I feel like it's been given like a stigma of being feminine for some reason. So like,
I'm a health guy, so I think I was completely against drinking, and then they were like, it's called the J swoop. If you swoop. J swoop. If you don't drink enough, it's not good for you. But if you drink too much, it's also not good for you. So you have this like moderation.
Yeah.
that you should drink alcohol. And red wine I drink because it's good for your heart.
I did watch this, I think it was the BBC, or there was some British special because they're all functioning alcoholics on like, hey, is drinking actually bad for me? And what they found is like you shouldn't have more than like, I think they said something like 7 units of drinking a week, so that's like a pint. So no more than like 7 pints of alcohol a week.
2 glasses. What is
yeah,
a
so
pint?
that's
2
like
glasses.
2 glasses. I mean, a pint is 2 glasses.
Yeah.
So, but like no more than like 7 glasses of wine a week, I suppose. Anything more than that is bad for you.
Yeah.
They did one thing though that was really interesting. They were like, oh, a lot of people report that they fall asleep a lot easier when they drink before they go to sleep.
Yeah.
And that's true. You
That's true.
fall asleep a lot faster, but you will be woken up in the middle of the night if you drink.
Yeah.
So your overall sleep is therefore worse.
Yeah. I have a problem sleeping. Like I usually I can go 24 hours and not sleep. Like, and I'll wake up early. So it does help
You
me sleep.
say that, but you need it.
But I'll sleep I'll rest on the train. Like I'll close my eyes on the train if that's the sleep. But at night it helps me sleep. But then I'll pop up.
Jimmy,
My
you're gonna get
pop-up is-
Alzheimer's.
I don't care at the end.
You're
Like,
deteriorating your brain.
And you exercise and you're good.
Exercise does not substitute sleep. REM cycles.
No, I care about that. I hate sleeping.
You're in denial.
I am. I don't care.
Hey, it's your life.
Yeah, I like.
Your life, not mine.
I like getting to the gym as early as possible when nobody's there.
Yeah, I do find sleep to be very inconvenient. I know that it's like you're supposed to do the 8 hours, and I just like do
That's
the
never
minimum.
gonna. It's never. It may happen on a Sunday, like maybe every other Sunday, but
That's crazy.
8 hours is insane. 8 hours?
Well, the thing is, you always feel feeling well rested is more about like sleep consistency. So if you're getting the same amount of sleep, you'll feel a lot more rested as opposed to if you got 8 hours of sleep and then slept 4 hours and then got like 10 hours of sleep, you would feel awful. Because it's more about like getting like
about
6 hours
3.5,
all the way through.
4.5 hours.
Yeah.
That's.
I always sleep 7 hours.
I some days 7 hours.
7
That's
hours.
adorable. That's.
Are you looking down on me?
Yeah, nope,
for,
not at all.
being
Not at all.
rested?
I don't like moving when everybody else is moving. I like. It's something
You're better
about
than
waking
all of
up
us
when
for
the whole
not
world is
sleeping.
asleep. Huh?
Traffic is annoying.
What? Like rush hour is bananas. That's
walking,
it's a
it's like-
ridiculous. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous to me. This like everybody packed on a train.
I love this city about 3, 4, 5 in the morning.
It's beautiful. Fucking
3, 4, 5
beautiful.
in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Late at night, early in the morning. I don't know.
I'm now trying to remember my weed bit.
Your weed bit.
The one where I rolled around on the
It
ground.
was good.
I was like, can I perform it? I don't even remember it. I did it maybe
'cause
like
you
my
grow
first
so
2 months
much.
here.
And you produce shows now, right?
Yeah, I produce. Well, I run 4 shows, although one of them I might try to retire because it was so much work. But one of them is a variety show at Pitt, and it's like a multimedia show. What's up? And then the other one I do with Daphne Genschler every second Tuesday of the month. It's very fun. It's called You Up.
Yeah.
And it's a stand-up showcase as well as a storytelling show where we invite audience members in the middle of the show to share an embarrassing story about their love life so they can get a prize from our sponsor, Blair, which
You have a
is...
sponsor for your
Yeah,
show?
sponsor. I get these things, I make it happen.
I would like to make this a cast about the business of comedy. And like I eventually want to get it there. Like, what was your transition from why did you start doing shows?
I started doing shows because it seemed like, oh, well, if I make my own show, I'll get stage time for myself. People who want to see me can come see me. And then if I book people who I think are funny, maybe they'll book me on their shows, which sometimes is true, but really now I just care about putting on a good show, and less about whether someone's going to book me back, which I guess some people would argue is stupid, but I just care about having a quality show. I get really excited about comics that I think are really funny, and I just want to book the comics that I think are really funny.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm choosing.
Would you book a shitty comic who's really funny? Is a shitty person?
Well, I just think no, I wouldn't, because I think there are so many funny comics that are also good people. There are too many comedians, so it's just a matter of like, yeah, exactly. So there are too many
snaps to
yeah, there are too many comedians. So the ones that are shitty, I'm not gonna book, because there are so many comedians that are kind and are also very funny.
Yeah.
But all the good comics are shitty.
Shitty people?
Well, I personally
Shit is
don't
that?
even really like them
Wait,
that
what?
much.
Oh, man, that's how I really think. Holy shit.
No, that's just. You've never met like a nice, funny comic?
Name one.
Sarah Silverman,
Bill Burr is pretty cool.
Maria Bamford,
There's a lot of cool people out there.
yeah,
What was that?
Ron Funches,
Is she funny in person? Is crazy in person?
That's
Is
dumb.
yeah. Maria Bamford's like a very giving person. She donates pretty much all of her earnings that she doesn't need.
Somebody's gonna be out there be like, why didn't they say us? Nobody listens to this. But
I can. Oh, Sam Evans.
in a couple years,
He's someone
this
we
is
know.
cool. Huh?
I'm trying to
Cool.
think of like people that are on the up and up who are very kind. Emily Heller.
Jamie Loftus.
I mean, I personally don't know Joe Rogan. He says like some pretty ignorant things, but I also do like his podcast. So
Yeah.
yeah, there are plenty of nice people that I think are very funny.
What's your next goal?
My next goal, honestly, I think would be to get a new video, because I don't really like the video that I have now. Yeah, to get a video that I'm proud of, as well as, I mean, I have like pretty broad goals. I guess maybe to try to get into clubs. To try to audition, I think would maybe be the next step.
You got a vlog? Are you gonna vlog? YouTuber?
I have my own website. It's Blair-Dawson.com.
That's what I asked.
Yeah.
You guys got websites? Websites? You know, why?
I just haven't made one.
No, just. I feel like
I'm
it's
launching a new redesign today.
a weed design
Redesign.
for your website.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's super important. Like the bricks and mortar stores are all turning into going online.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, every single agent, like I'm friends with like a few comedy agents on Facebook, and they always are like, comedians, help me, help you. You need to have a website with a headshot, with a recent clip of your stand-up. And those were really the main things. Like, you need to have your dates, a headshot, a recent clip of stand-up, and like contact information.
Yeah.
Because how are they supposed to find you? Like, help them help you. That's
Absolutely.
what they always say.
You guys got any questions?
I have a question.
Okay.
Okay, about like not booking people because you don't like them as a person. You know, it's like the male version of that. A bunch of Harvey Weinsteins.
What do you mean?
Like,
What's your take?
So-
What point are you making?
like.
Trying to make
Okay,
it-
so I'm assuming what he was doing is kind of make the girls do what he wants them to do, or I'm not gonna like you don't fuck me. So fuck me and then I'll get you this part, even if you're not necessarily the best person for it. So you saying be nice to me or you won't get this spot because I don't like you.
Well, I'm not a power holder. I'm just booking people that I like, who I think are.
Being nice is very different than I'm going to sexually harass you.
Yeah. One's
Being
a
nice is
crime,
just like
one
a normal
isn't.
thing to do in any business. Sexual harassment is not okay.
Right. One is sexual harassment and assault. He raped people, and one is just common decency.
Common decency, yeah. Just being.
Really?
I'm not
Professional.
asking for people
Just
to
be
suck
professional.
up. I'm asking for common decency.
She's not asking anyone to eat her out. She's asking you to say hello to her. And
No, I'm not even asking that. I'm just like,
Yeah.
I'm literally, if I know someone has done something bad, I'm not going to put them in a position to be shitty to other people.
Yeah.
Well,
I need to put them on blast.
You know, imagine
Yeah.
we've all kind of done something bad. Like,
I disagree.
no.
What you're
What'd you say?
describing is illegal.
Cool. What?
So,
Yeah.
I
Cool.
mean, her original point was there's going to be a nice person who's just as funny, so she's going to book that person. Like, she's not saying the other person has to be nice, but like, it's about the people who are nice and like
Yeah.
decent people and are
well, I
also
book
very
mean
funny.
people all the time. Just I want to know that they're not like assaulting people.
Yeah.
That's all.
So
Absolutely.
it's not assaulting anybody. I'm good. I could just be like, if I'm rude and.
No. You still gotta be. It's a plus to be a decent person. It's just about being decent.
What are you trying to argue?
Oh no, I'm just saying, like, cause I've been doing bikes for a while, and I'm like, how do you get on shows? And apparently it's that. It's not really about how you are on stage. It's about like whether I like you or not.
And she's just saying don't assault people and she'll put you under.
Okay,
No,
you said that
I'm
because I
just-
could talk about it
Is
before,
this
that it was
still in the
like-
podcast?
Yeah, it's about to
This
close
is
up.
still in the podcast.
Yeah, it's a podcast.
I was just sorry.
I'm trying to. We got hot at the end. I was like, all right, how do we get cold after? All right.
I personally am booking people that I'm excited by.
That's the point. Good. I can end on that. All right, cool. Where can they find you?
Oh, you can find me on Instagram, Blair Simone, or you can find me on Twitter, Your Gold Blair. You are girl, GIRL, Blair, BLAIR.
And your website.
My website is blair-dawson.com. Although I need to take off my art school portfolio on there.
Yeah.
How do you spell Simone?
Oh, Blair Simone, BLAIR, Simone, SIMONE.
You looking it up right now? You look like you're looking it up right now. It's so creepy. How do you spell Simone? All right.
Daddy, what's your number?
Oh, all right. Give it up for Blair. Thank you. Holy shit. This is the People's Mic. You can find us on Google Plus, iTunes, Blog Talk Radio, and YouTube. And you can follow our Facebook page, the People's Mic Podcast. Give it up for our audience. Give it up for you guys.